So, before we start reading about Alexander the Great and deciding whether or not we believe that he was a hero or a villain, we are going to talk about vocabulary. In this vocabulary lesson, what the students are going to do is you will be in cooperative groups of 4 or 5 students, and each one of you will get a large index card. On that index card, after being assigned a vocabulary word, each person in the group will be assigned a different vocabulary word. You will have to look it up in the glossary. You'll need to write down the definition of the word that's given in the glossary, the page number in which it is found. Also, you should think about writing down the Spanish version of the word as well, which you can also find in your glossary. After you have done that, you may write a sentence either using the word, using a sentence in your textbook, and it should be easy to find because it's right there. The page number is right there by the glossary definition. Or you may come up with a sentence of your own. That's totally up to you. Also, you need to give me some sort of other way to express this word. You're welcome to act it out, or you may draw a picture or find a picture on the internet that describes what this word is to give us a different type of way to learn what this vocabulary word is. Once you have finished filling out your card, your group will then pass the card to another person in the group and they will read about it. And so what we're essentially doing is we're just breaking up the work of the vocabulary, but eventually every single one of you will read a card and see a picture or see this word used in a sentence before we begin reading. This way you understand what each word means before you start reading, so you're not confused when we are reading. So I've gone ahead and I've made up a vocabulary card so you can see what it is that you're supposed to do. In this case, I used the word lecture. I know it's hard to see, and this isn't actually an index card because I don't have any here, but I used the word lecture. And on this, I put lecture, a talk given in front of a group of people for instruction. That is a noun, but it can also be used as a verb, as in to lecture. It is found on page 408 of your textbook. In Spanish, the word lecture is conferencia. The sentence that I used was Zeno held a lecture in Athens to teach the Hellenistic world about Stoicism. You may also use a sentence of your own, such as the teacher lectured about vocabulary words. Also, I drew a picture, and my picture is supposed to be Zeno lecturing, and his little bubble says, happiness comes from following reason. And these are all of his people listening to his lecture. I also found a picture on the internet of a gentleman lecturing a group of people at Marquette University. So this is what it looks like to lecture. Also, being a student, you see your teacher lecture all the time. So you have all of these different ideas about what lecture means. So what we're going to do now is once you've finished your personal vocabulary card, you're going to pass it on to a person in your group so they may read it. And eventually you will see every single one of our vocabulary words and you will see the different ways of expressing them.